seek to challenge the theft and pillage narrative of America's history, how do you reconcile the slave trade and land grabs from Native Americans?
Well, first of all, you have to remember that the ethic of conquest, the idea that you get land by grabbing it from someone else, has been occurring since the dawn of mankind. We talk about the Native Americans as a single group, but they are as diverse as the people of Europe. When the Europeans got here, every piece of land that was occupied by a Native American tribe, that tribe had by and large taken it from some other tribe. So the strong tribes like the Apache and the Navajo and the Comanche had been raiding and conquering the weaker tribes like the Pueblo and the Hopi. So when the Spanish came here, they were doing basically the same thing.
All right, folks, welcome to Gimme 5. I told you that over the 4th of July weekend, I went to see Dinesh D'Souza's movie, America, Imagine the World Without It. And you've already gotten 30 seconds in education. This is all about how to answer the left's charges that America is and always has been and was founded on racism and slavery, etc. And there's an education on the Indian tribes taking land from each other. More.
All, by the way, 200 years before America. We condemned Christopher Columbus in 1492, but America was started in 1776. So the distance between Columbus and the founding is about as big as the distance between the founding and today. So sometimes I think what the left is doing is blaming America for a conquest ethic that is universal, and to which America came up with a very innovative solution, which is the idea of wealth creation.
There you go. I mean, I got to tell you, this is a must-see movie. You must take your kids to counter what they're learning in school and what they're being taught in films and on television. It's very important. Here's more.
So you know that I admit that there was a racial dehumanization in American slavery that was in fact unique, and yet even there were exceptions. There were approximately, for example, 3,500 black slave owners, free blacks in the American South, who owned more than 10,000 black slaves. So that is a sort of wrinkle, that's a wrinkle that undermines the idea that slavery was purely a black and white issue. But for me, the more important point isn't that, it's that slavery was a universal institution, but only one nation, America, fought a great war to end it.
I mean, again, there's no condoning slavery, and that's not the intent here. And I believe, and as evidenced by his own words, that was not the intent in Dinesh D'Souza's movie or in his explanation that you just saw on MSNBC. But the fact is, slavery was not invented by America. America is the only nation that fought a civil war to end slavery. And since that time, we've done more to correct the wrongs of slavery than any other nation on the face of the earth, while slavery still exists in other nations. We continue.
That's an interesting argument you can make. My bigger problem is Dinesh D'Souza is not a very good spokesperson for what liberalism is or what progressivism is. I mean, my bigger problem with him and his work, and this movie is part of it, is this sort of onslaught of portraying liberalism as what it's not. Right. He paints it as this, and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton as sort of these monsters of the left who are trying to lead America down a dark path, and I don't think that's true. And from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie, I've read about it. He certainly gets into that in this movie, and I just reject that completely.
He hasn't seen the movie, but he's criticizing the movie, which is fair. I mean, I do that sometimes as well. Everybody does that. At least he admitted he hasn't seen the movie. But here Dinesh D'Souza talks about something that I have talked about for years, ever since I read Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg. Watch.
Part of what we do in the film is we show rare footage of Alinsky that really hasn't been seen by anybody. You get to see this man, Saul Alinsky, who, by the way, learned a lot of his tactics at the hands of the mafia. He would hang around with the Capone gang, and he says that he would admire the way that they learned how to extort money from people. And for Alinsky, the question was, how do I do that politically? Now, Obama did not have a close relationship with Alinsky. He never met Alinsky, but he admired Alinsky's tactics, and that's why he kept going back to Chicago. Hillary has had very close ties with Alinsky. She met him in high school. She had a continuing relationship with him through college. She wrote her thesis on Alinsky. So the idea of using Alinsky as the bridge between Obama and Hillary is perfectly legitimate, and it's one that the American people should know about.
They absolutely should know about it, and we'll keep them informed. Good job on the Steve Malberg Show.